Music has a powerful effect on our minds. With just a few bars of a song, or just a few notes even, our minds can transport us back to a specific time in our life. Or we can see a scene from a movie that made a real impact on us. Our minds can take us back to a memory of the past simply by listening to music. Music could be looked at as the soundtrack to our lives. Welcome to the Word for 2021, and today we are in Exodus chapter 15. When we hear, say, the theme song to Star Wars, or Darth Vader, to The Brady Bunch, Little House on the Prairie, or Rocky, immediately our minds can take us back and we can have emotions fill us again because those songs elicit something deep within us. Songs even like Amazing Grace or It Is Well immediately tell us of God's goodness and reminds us of His faithfulness. With music, we can become excited or we can get calm. We can feel nostalgic or we can be inspired. With music, our emotions respond, memories engage, imaginations are heightened, and our mood can even change. Chapter 15 is the first song that is listed in the Bible. It's a song for that generation, but also for generations yet to come. This song, I'm sure, as they would sing it or they would listen to it, would transport them back to this amazing time when through a mighty hand, God saved them. This song, I'm sure, elicited feelings of excitement, victory, thankfulness, and joy for all of them. Plus, this song would even make them dance. In verse 20, it says that Miriam took a tambourine, and all the women joined in with her. They took tambourines, and together they danced. Now, we don't know what the song sounded like. It's a poem, but we don't know what the theme was. We don't know what the rhythm was like, but it says here that they all joined in dancing as they sang. The horse and its rider was hurled into the sea. They might even repeat it, hurled into the sea, hurled into the sea. The horse and its rider were hurled into the sea. Great is the Lord. As they sang that song and they danced, I'm sure that it was a time where they would remember all that God had done. Every time they would hear this song or they sang this song, they would remember. Music and singing, it really is a gift. David, with the Psalms, it lifted him from feelings of loneliness, fear, depression, or doubt. As we read, psalms and hymns were used in worship all throughout Israel's history. In fact, even on the night that Jesus was betrayed, before they left that upper room and they went to the Garden of Gethsemane, what did it say? They sang a hymn. Paul and Silas, they sang in the dungeon, and it lifted their spirits and it ministered to all of those. Even the jailer was saved because he heard Paul and Silas singing there in the dungeon. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 19, Paul instructs us to speak to one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. Sing and make music in your heart to the Lord, always giving thanks to God the Father for everything. And when we read the book of Revelation, there is continual singing before God, and there is praise all around the throne. Whenever we sing, it lifts us, and it does something deep inside of us. But what if we stop singing? What happens when we do? We forget. And the Israelites, it only took them 3 days to go from singing to grumbling, from praising to complaining. Only 3 days after they saw that great miracle of the Red Sea, they went back to grumbling and complaining. They no longer were singing. Let me ask you a question. Are you going through a dry time in your life? Are you struggling with doubt? Or are your problems wanting to overwhelm you? May I encourage you to do what Scripture instructs us to do? First, listen to songs of faith. Listen to songs of joy. Listen to songs that speak of God's faithfulness and His goodness. And then join in. Start singing. Thank you for joining the Word for 2021.